Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse exclusive Giant Man and the Wasp, aka Hank and Janet. And this is undoubtedly one of the coolest releases that we've had in forever, honestly. They literally showed this on the fan stream. Like, obviously we knew about the Janet from however long ago it was that they showed her and said that she was coming, but we didn't know about this Hank or anything like that. And they did tease the Quinjet, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But the fact that they showed this on the live stream and then were cheeky about it when they said, oh, this will go up for order tomorrow, and we all just assumed that it would be pre-order because, you know, that's always how it goes. It goes up for pre-order, and then a couple months later we get it. But they went, oh, it'll go up for order tomorrow. And then when it went up on Pulse, you know, and you click, oh, hey, I'm going to order this item, it went, oh, by the way, we're charging you now and we're shipping it now. The fact that this did that is so unbelievably cool. I can't remember the last time that we had anything, honestly, that they showed, like, that Hasbro especially, but like any company has showed off and went, oh, by the way, this will be available tomorrow. And then you get it within a couple days after it first being shown off. That's so unbelievably cool. And maybe it'll make me a little biased for this set, on top of the fact that this is Hank and Janet, and I love Ant-Man and the Wasp, which obviously this is Giant Man, but you know what I mean. I love the two of them, and I've been in desperate need for awesome definitive versions of them on the shelf, and this is, without question, the best versions of the two of them that we could get on the shelf for classic purposes. This set, which is so cool, and it's jam-packed full of accessories. So without further ado, let's get into what they come with. So as you can see on Janet right now, you can see her like splayed out hands, which these I'm pretty sure are brand new, and I hope they reuse these for Sue Storm because these are going to be great for her powers. But I love these hands. They're beautifully sculpted. They are proportionate. They have, you know, back and forth hinges. They look so good. And this head sculpt is absolutely beautiful for Janet. I love this. This looks so nice. It's painted very well, sculpted beautifully. She has her, you know, the sides of her helmet type thing. She has her antennae up here, the stinger type thing up top, and then she does have the little, you know, microphone that she can talk into, and it is articulated. So if you know, weren't wanting that in a picture, you know, for ACBA or anything like that, you could always just tuck it behind here and then frame it the right way, and then it doesn't look like she has one at all. So that is something that is very cool, and it's flimsy, but it's not gonna break if you breathe on it too hard. Just obviously be careful if she falls off the shelf. She does come with a unmasked, unhelmeted, whatever head you want to call it for her, and this just looks beautiful. A lot of people were saying it looks like Amber Heard. I personally don't think so. The hair is just gorgeous on this. The hair looks great. The way they did her makeup and printed it and everything. You can't even tell that it's printed, like even up close. It just looks breathtakingly beautiful. I absolutely love it. The hairstyle, all of it is just perfect classic Janet. And I'm going to have a hard time trying to figure out how I want to display her because I love the helmeted head, but I also really love the unhelmeted head. Wasp also comes with a pair of fists, which these look really nice as well. I don't think these are new. She would not be Wasp without her wings. So she does come with these wings. These are reused from the ones that we've seen, I don't know how many times before, but countless times. And these just look great. They have the beautiful sort of a blue metallic when you catch them in the light the right way, which looks really cool. That has the hinges as well. They, you know, move up and down as well as having these hinges on here. These are just so nice. And they plug into the back very easily as well. So let's go ahead and bring Janet in. They really look like they just drilled the holes into her back too. They are kind of sloppily done, but it's not a big deal at all. And they are just basically friction based, so maybe you don't want to take these out too terribly much. You might want to heat them up the first time though, just to be safe, because you don't want the peg to go twisting on you or anything. There she is. She looks so cool. I love this. I'm so happy to have a Wasp. I have been waiting for years to get like a proper Wasp. I passed on the other releases that they had because they didn't do it for me. And oh man, this just looks so awesome. She's so classic. She's so cool. She looks just absolutely amazing. She does have trouble standing though when she has her wings on. You probably, I mean, if you fiddle around with it for quite a while, probably, and get her to lean just a little bit farther forward, maybe. You could probably get her to stay. But as is, there you go, like that. She looks pretty good. She's gonna fall. She's gonna fall. There we go. But, you know, you can get her to. You just gotta futz around with her for a little bit. And now, when it comes to Hank's accessories, let's first take a look at what's on him. He has the Giant Man head sculpt, which this looks perfect for the Haslab and just shrunk down. It would have been cool if they would have had him come with swappable antennae as well to have like the white ones. That would have been kind of cool. But I personally probably won't display my Haslab Giant Man with the white ones. I'll probably do the black ones. But I love how this head sculpt looks. It's so good. Same, pretty much everything that applies to Janet applies to this Hank in terms of how beautifully painted he is and just everything. He is pinless, unlike the other Ant-Man that we got last year. Obviously, this is the Giant Man costume as opposed to the Ant-Man costume, but you can swap out the parts on it, and I will show you guys that here relatively soon. But Hank also comes with a pair of open kind of grip hands, which these are for holding the Quinjet and stuff like that, which I'll show you here in a second. But these hands are pretty good. They have the back and forth hinges instead of up and down or anything like that, but they look great. And then he comes with a trigger finger hand, which has an up and down hinge, which this is for holding the data pad or the beakers, whichever one you want to do, because you obviously can use those hands to do it as well, but I would say this is more so for the data pad. And then he unfortunately only has one fist, but I associate Hank with, you know, more doing science stuff as opposed to fighting, unless he's in his like his Giant Man form. So, you know, when we have the Haslab, it'll be perfect to do that. And speaking of the data pad, here is that. This is beautiful. We've seen this a couple times before. This looks great. It's in a gunmetal gray color. It's got that little bit of blue and red painted on it as well, which looks really good. I absolutely love this. It would have been kind of cool if maybe they'd given us like a picture of Ultron on here or something. That would have been pretty cool to see. So it could be like, oh yeah, no, he's working on making Ultron. He also comes with the little Quinjet, which is just so cute. So cool. I love this. It's got the wheels painted on here, the A logo on both sides, as well as the windshield on it painted in like a metallic as well, a metallic blue. This is so cool. This will be really cool for some ACBA if people want to use this with, like, obviously you could probably use those smaller buildings and make this Giant Man look like he is in Giant Man form. But it would be really cool to put this with like your Godzilla or your Kongs, have it flying in, you know, having the Avengers come in for some backup. Hank also comes with these beakers, which we've seen these a few times before. They have the blue plastic inserted on the sides to have them, you know, look like they're full of liquid, which these look really cool. I do like these. He also comes with the unmasked head, which came with the West Coast Avengers 5-pack. I believe it was a 5-pack. This looks really good. I might paint the eyebrows because the eyebrows are kind of throwing me off a little bit. It just looks like he doesn't have any, and it makes him look even angrier than Hank is a lot of the time. So I might just come in with like a light brown just to give it a little more depth, but that's just me personally. It has beautiful wash to the hair as well too, so I think having the dark or lighter brown eyebrows would actually work as well on this, but this head sculpt looks great. And then last but not least, he comes with this lab coat, which is really cool. I personally don't care for it just because it looks a little big, a little clunky on him. I love that it's added, you know, it's a beautiful addition to it. And maybe on like a slightly bigger buck, it would look really good. Like maybe I'll throw it on a Spider-Man and make, you know, Peter walking around having a lab coat on. But for Hank, I think I'm just going to leave him like this, or maybe I'll put the Reed Richards, like actual plastic ones on him. But the cloth coat itself is no slouch. It is really nice. We already took a look at the detail on Wasp pretty much when we were talking about the figure, but we'll go ahead and do over that one more time. She has the W like on her chest, which looks really good. It's beautifully painted. Same with the gunmetal on her little, I think are these PIM particles down here, or is this just part of her belt? I'm not 100% sure. The reds look really good. Unfortunately, her boots aren't sculpted, but her gauntlets are, which is a little strange, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. It is a little sloppy when it comes to her legs, so if they had been, you know, sculpted, it probably wouldn't have been as sloppy, but it's really not a big deal. She looks great in her red and black costume. I love this. She looks so good. And the same thing goes for Hank. Obviously, he's in red and blue, not red and black, with a little bit of black on there. But he looks great. He does look like he's missing paint if you have his shoulder in too much, because they put the paint on the butterfly joint, so you're going to want to have him with the one shoulder back just a little bit so it actually looks uniform. He's got the gunmetal belt on here, the blue shorts. I don't really care for how they did the boots, because I wish they would have just sculpted this or something, you know. It looks great on the arms, but on the boots, it's not as great. I kind of wish they would have just had the blue come up onto the actual legs themselves. I think it would have just looked better, but it's not bad by any means. He's got the V, you know, the suspenders type look going on the back as well. And then I did want to show you guys this, because this is just something that I probably am going to have him displayed with in my personal collection. So let's just go ahead and... I know it's not super accurate, you know, for this costume and everything, and I'll probably switch out the belt too, but I just wanted to show you guys the head sculpt for the sake of showing you that before we get into some size comparisons. I really like this. This is my look for Hank, having this helmet. So this might be how this stays for me, but we'll see. Especially when the Haslab comes out, we'll see. And then as for articulation, like I said, Janet is on a dumbbell joint for her head, so she can only go up about this far, which is not bad. You can go down that far, rotate, all that good stuff. Her torso is not nicely articulated at all. It is back a little bit, so you can get her into some flying poses, but she's not like the 97 Jean. The 97 Jean, they did so well on that. I wish they would have carried that over onto this, how well they did it, but it's going to be easily modelable. Her shoulders go out that far. They rotate all the way around, but this is a harder plastic, so it is going to run into that. You do have to be careful. She has bicycle swivel, double-jointed pinless elbows and knees, so they can go back that far. Both sets of hands go back and forth. As for her legs, they go out that far. They go that far forward and that far back. It does start to kick out a little bit once you hit the butt. She has thigh swivel, double-jointed knees. They go back at that far. No boot swivel or anything, but she does have that far forward, or that far back, that far forward, and then, of course, ankle pivot. And as for Hank, his head can go up that far down. A little bit of tilt, mostly rotation, though. His shoulders go out that far. Rotate all the way around, butterfly joint. Can go that far forward and that far back. It does, you know, get a little gappy and weird looking right there, but he has bicycle swivel. Double-jointed pinless elbows and knees, so they go back that far. His hands go back and forth, except for the one trigger holding hand, which can go up and down. Torso goes that far forward, that far back. He has waist swivel. Legs go out that far, up that far and back that far. Thigh swivel, double-jointed knees that go back that far. Boot swivel, feet can go back that far, up that far, and of course, ankle pivot. And now onto some size comparisons. Here they are next to Classic Cap and Classic Tony, and oh man, this just, oh, it just itches that part of your brain. You know what I mean? It itches that Classic Avengers part of your brain. Whenever we get the gold version of the Mark I, oh man, whew, that's gonna be a beautiful display. I can't wait to see people do a whole bunch of really cool ACBA with Classic Avengers. Overall, I absolutely adore this set. I mean, just the stuff that it comes with is awesome. It's a great companion piece to the Haslab that's coming. And it's a great pickup if you didn't end up backing the Haslab. I did, so it's going to be just an awesome add-on piece to it. But without the Haslab, it's still an amazing set that'll go beautifully on your shelf. The accessories that they come with are awesome. The brand new Janet is amazing. The new parts on Hank just elevate that figure to new heights, no pun intended. And as you saw with the last size comparison, they just look so good with the Classic Avengers. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more that I can say about it. It really is just so awesome, the fact that this was shown and then came out right after. That was just so cool. And I don't know if these will make it to the top 10 of the year. Probably not, but they'll definitely get an honorary mention just for that alone. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.